students make their voices heard.
Again, none of them sound as good as continuing their education within the university they put in so much effort to get into.
Caplin News goes live on the ICE protests at FIU, celebrating a century
The house is older than the city.
of one of Miami-Dade's most famous cities, and a sneak peek
We always try to put together events like this every single month for the community.
in what's to come for the Miami Short Film Festival. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm David Lascano.
And I'm Sabrina Lozano. Today is Monday, June 2nd, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
Students showing support for immigrants at Florida International University here in South Florida. Protesters at FIU demanded the school cut ties with ICE 287G program, calling it a threat to international students.
This comes just days after Harvard won a major court battle protecting international students, now spotlighting how these policies impact campuses nationwide. Caplin News reporter Nicolette Esper is live at FIU's main campus in West Miami-Dade, where protesters are already underway. Nicolette?
Behind me, tensions are high as protesters are demanding FIU cuts ties with ICE's 287G program, a move they say will protect their international students. And this comes just shortly after Harvard won a court battle that shields their foreign students from visa changes. A federal judge has blocked changes to Harvard's student visa program indefinitely, a decision coming as the university celebrated its 374th commencement.
Members of the class of 2025 from down the street, across the country, and around the world. Around the world, just as it should be.
But the victory follows months of uncertainty for Harvard's international students.
Many people are looking at perhaps a gap year or any other alternatives, which, again, none of them sound as good as continuing their education within the university they put in so much effort to get into.
President Trump responding sharply, saying the Ivy League school needs to behave.
Harvard is treating our country with great disrespect, and all they're doing is getting in deeper and deeper and deeper.
The ruling comes as Harvard also fights the White House over $2.2 billion in frozen federal funds. Harvard's case highlights the broader debate over how the policies of 287G impact international students nationwide, and the Board of Trustees have yet to respond, but will continue to update you as we continue to learn more. For now, we're live in West Miami-Dade. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Nicolette Esper.
Thank you so much, Nikki. This morning, 8 people are hospitalized with burns, are recovering after an attack in a pedestrian mall during a march for Israeli hostages with what police are describing as a makeshift flamethrower. The attack was yesterday in Boulder, Colorado. The suspect, identified as 45-year-old Sabri Soliman, was allegedly heard screaming "Free Palestine" during the attack. Soliman was taken to the hospital after suffering some minor injuries and is now being charged with multiple felonies. Officials are investigating the incident as a targeted terror attack.
A suspect was pointed out to our officers on the scene. Our officers immediately encountered that suspect, who was taken into custody without incident.
Soliman is now expected to face court next Monday. Police said at least one of the victims is in critical condition.
This morning, voters are headed to the polls in a historical election in Mexico, not just to choose leaders, but to shape the country's future justice system. The vote could redefine how laws are interpreted and how justice is delivered across the nation. National Electoral Institute President Guadalupe Tadei says each ballot is an act of trust in the courts and democracy. Results are expected to signal the direction Mexico will take for years to come.
Cancer patients receiving hope this morning after a new study shows promising findings on colorectal cancer treatment and prevention. One study presented at the annual meeting of the American Society of Clinical Oncology looked at 900 patients. It showed that those who walked briskly for an hour a few times a week and ate leafy greens prevented 1 out of 16 people from developing cancers.
A city in Miami-Dade is celebrating a historical moment this year. Coral Gables turns 100 years old, and Caplin News reporter Marisol Lopez takes us to visit a special landmark filled with centennial memories.
Coral Gables is turning 100 years old, and the city is celebrating all year long. 2025 marks a century since Coral Gables was officially founded, but its origin traced back farther, to a home that predates its existence, the Merrick House, childhood home of the city's visionary founder, George Merrick.
The house is older than the city. It was finished in 1910. And so the city grew up around the house.
While George envisioned a Mediterranean-style city inspired by Spain, the design of the house was shaped by his mother, Althea.
So he had in his mind a vision of what he thought Spanish and Mediterranean architecture would be, and that's what he brought. But the house itself was the inspiration from his mother, and she brought her feelings from New England.
As part of its centennial celebration, Coral Gables has hosted events at the Merrick House, where longtime residents and historians share personal anecdotes on the city's rich past.
We had a series called 100 Voices, and people who lived around in Coral Gables for back in the day and had businesses here and could bring some interesting stories.
Here's to a century. But hey, the celebrations are not over yet. To see more events coming up, visit their website. Reporting from Coral Gables, I'm Marisol Lopez for Caplin News.
Well, it appears that Doral is giving Netflix a run for their money as residents choose to gather as a community to enjoy a unique movie night where the Miami Short Film Festival showcase some of their best pieces. Caplin News' Ivan Ilowski takes us to this special event and tells us what to expect next.
Residents of Doral gathered to enjoy a series of short films. A different way of spending a Saturday evening.
It is important for us to gather here to be able to connect, to talk about this theme here, to give support to actors and directors and producers.
This is part of a partnership with the city of Doral. And this annual event takes place each spring around May, bringing new and special stories for the residents to enjoy.
It's amazing to see the community come together at these events. Everyone loves it. We love to host them. It makes us feel good, and we always try to put together events like every single month for the community.
The purpose? A space for hundreds of upcoming filmmakers to showcase their stories, especially for local talent.
23 years ago, we only received like 5 local films from Miami, and the rest was either from the state or from the country. Nowadays, we receive about 100 local films, but I'm happy to report that local filmmakers are stepping up.
This showcase is only part of a much bigger event. The Miami Short Film Festival will be in November, bringing more perspectives to the spot. In Doral, I'm Ivan Ilowski, Caplin News.
Miami Swim Weeks wrapped up their weekend with a final night of fun and fashion.
Well, it's been fun covering it. That's still ahead, and so is the story.
I never dress like that, so I'm gonna dress like it's a night.
We take you outside of the Casella Center where Latino icon Ro Alejandro ended the U.S. leg of his world tour. Don't go anywhere, Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
One of Miami's most popular fashion shows comes to an end. South Florida was turning heads this weekend as designers, models, and influencers come together for a final night of Miami Swim Week.
Caplin News reporter Paola Sirignano shows us how the week wrapped up in style.
The runway sizzled as Miami Swim Week came to a close, ending with one final splash of color, creativity, and couture.
The Miami Swim Week wrapped up its 11th edition at the Mondrian of South Beach. After a week of showcasing over 150 designers across stunning venues, the week celebrated innovation, sustainability, and the talent of local and upcoming designers.
I'm Tracy. I'm the founder of Baya, which is a luxury swimwear and resort brand that's based in Monaco, and I'm really excited about bringing it to Miami and showcasing our next collection.
Baya opened the runway this Sunday showcasing the rich textures and vibrant colors with a visual story of midnight under the moon.
Our show goes kind of a story. It's very fun, and then it takes you to different tones, really inspired by the Mediterranean. And our last and newest collection is really about the midnight under the moon swimming, so you'll have like a really deep blue texture and that golden yellow, so we're really excited to bring those colors out for the season.
But beyond the runway, these shows gave public figures the opportunity to support local and upcoming designers. And for Miss Miami Beach, this was a unique chance to connect with them.
This is just really exciting to me. I mean, I see so many beautiful and empowered and special women here tonight, so the fact that I get to communicate with them and just feed off of their confidence is just really exciting.
The week wrapped up with Love Lift Couture, a brand making its runway debut just 6 months after its launch. Designer Valentina Ochoa shared her journey from the brand's early days to this milestone moment.
It's been about 4 years working on this brand. Even though we'd only have it launched for 6 months, so many times we both felt like this will never be possible, but we never stopped.
The collection illuminated your inner power, blended art and emotion into every design, conveying a story of growth and empowerment.
It really represents a stage in our lives when we were feeling very, very down, and we start to heal until we reach our highest potential and come out glowing.
From bright lights and bold looks, Miami Swim Week ended with style and star power. The final show proves that once again, this city knows how to close a fashion week. From Miami Beach, I'm Paula Sirignano, Caplin News.
Puerto Rican artist Raúl Alejandro wrapped up his Cosa Nuestra tour with a cinematic, high-energy show here in Miami that had thousands of fans in attendance for his 3 unforgettable nights. Caplin News reporter Stephanie Tena was there at the Kaisea Center and captured the final stop of the tour.
Thousands packed into the Kaseya Center for the final stop of Raúl Alejandro's Cosa Nuestra tour, a show that sparked concert for a cinematic journey and all about reclaiming your power after a loss. In the heart of Miami, Raúl Alejandro brought a unique blend of reggaeton and retro vibes with his Cosa Nuestra tour, inspired by the energy and style of New York in the 1960s. Raúl's show transformed every venue into a cinematic experience of lights, sounds, and emotion.
The first time I heard him was in 2018 at an event in Puerto Rico with my friend who is here with me, and I loved his music from that day, and I went to all his concerts. I didn't get into Puerto Rico, so I had to come to Miami.
With bold visuals, dazzling choreographies, and an aesthetic that channels the iconic spirit of New York's Golden Era, Cosa Nuestra turned the stage into a living, breathing work of art right here in Miami.
This album is so versatile. It gave us a little bit of everything: salsa, reggaeton, culture, trap, and even music in English. It really shows us that he can do it all.
Fans across Miami gathered to witness the fusion of past and future as Raúl paid tribute to both Puerto Rican heritage and the cultural richness of the 1960s.
Ay, me encanta. If I've never dressed like a flapper, 60s, 20s, I don't know what, qué época era, pero I'm like, I never dressed like that, so I'm gonna dress like it tonight.
Raúl Alejandro's Cosa Nuestra tour is a celebration of music, culture, and pure artistry.
Raúl Alejandro turned the stage into a cinematic world, and Miami got the grand finale of his story driving tour. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Stephanie Tena.
Sad news for the Marlins fans as they fell short in San Francisco against the Giants. San Francisco's Luis Matos hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning, giving the Giants all the offense that they needed. Despite 5 hits from Javier Edwards, Miami couldn't close the gap. Hayden Birdsong held the Marlins to 1 run over 5 strong innings, and now Camilo Doval locked it down with his 2nd save of the series. The final score was San Francisco 4, Marlins 2. The Fish will move on to play their next series against the Colorado Rockies at home today at 6:40 p.m.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Sabrina Lozano.
And I'm David Lascano. Get more news at any time at caplinnews.fiu.edu.